Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Frederick from Team Sketch2React, and I'm gonna show you now how you can combine your own custom React code with Stratos generated code. And I'm also gonna use an animation library called Frame Motion, and I'm planning on making our logo rotate. So let's get started, and let's go into Sketch and set things up. Start here, and we create an artboard, name it start. I want to add the logo, so I'm gonna have it here. So let's do it like this, and we save. Now we head into Stratos, and we create a new project. We name it Frame Motion Demo. We select the project folder. What is new between Stratos and React Sketch2React version 1 series is that version 2, which is Stratos, is based around the concept of a project. And the reason for that is because it enables a lot of new features and functionalities, and some of them I'm going to show you now. So okay, let's continue. I create a new folder called Frame Motion Demo, and I select that one. I select my design file, which one I want to use, and I pick my demo file that I just created, and I click on Create Project. And nothing happens. Actually, I realized what was wrong. This is rendering blank, and it's because I need to, in Sketch, make this exportable, and I need to make it exportable as an SVG. I hit save, and I reopen the project, and here it is. So that's perfect. Okay, so let's head into the file explorer and to see which code has actually been generated so far. And you can click on this one to switch into code view, and you can see you have your start class, and you have here that it renders an SVG component, SVG React component. You have the source here, and the source goes to images and Stratos icon symbol SVG. You will also see that where the component SVG is imported from /components/Stratos/SVG. So if we have a look here, we go to React source, and then we have pages, and pages is the file that we were just looking at. We open components, we have a look at Stratos, and we see that we have the SVG component here. And what we do now is that we actually have two different views. We have one view, which is basically the old HTML preview view, and we have one which is a React view. And the new React view enables the custom React code and external third-party libraries such as Frame Motion. And then you do like this. You go into Finder, and you have your Frame Motion demo folder. You can drag and drop it onto the terminal to end up in the correct folder. You type npm install, and it will install things that will be able to boot up a Webpack dev server in the background. Okay, so we're fine. Everything is okay. What we do now is that we start the development server. And now what has happened is it has compiled our React code. And then we head back into Stratos. We go File, View, View, and then External React View. And this opens up a localhost on port 3333, which is then the React representation of our project. And this is the one we're going to animate. So, okay, how do we go from a static image to an animated one? And we start by going back into Sketch. We group this and we name this something like animation. Now, animation is a component that is not part of Stratos or Sketch2React framework, so it's completely custom. Let's head back into Stratos and see what has actually changed, what has updated. And I mean, it looks the same so far, but if we have a look into code, it looks a bit different. You will see now that it has a new component, and it's called animation. And you can also notice that in components Stratos, still there is only SVG. But here, when it calls the import of the new component, it is looking in a custom folder. And so it actually expects to find the component animation within the custom folder. And as you can see, custom folder is blank, which means we need to create this. And you can do this in two ways. Either you can create it from here, or you can actually open up your project in your favorite text editor. And I'm going to show you using Visual Studio Code because, well, that's my favorite one. We head into this one, and here, and we can make this a bit bigger. And then we create a new file, and we call it animate. Yes. And then, as with any component, we import React from React. We also want to we can do this const animation
selling flowers too.
I mean, there are multiple ways to write this, but well, this is one of them, and I mean, you can pick and choose your own favorite. So, and now, what I want to do is I want to animate the logo, and I want to do so using Framer Motion. So if we go to Framer Motion's website, this is what I want to use. And you can actually use it like this. So we pick this one. However, I do not want to use frame. I want to use motion.div. Let's do this. And then I do not want it to be self-enclosed or self-closing, because I also want to have my child components within it. So if I change here to motion.div, and motion/div. Although now one thing is missing, and I guess you can see what, and that is actually the inclusion of the frame motion library. If we do like this, import motion from framer motion, like this. Now I will run into problems, and that is because framer motion is not available in my project yet, so that's something that I need to install. So I head over to my terminal, and you can see that it fails to load custom animation, and I press Ctrl C to break the web dev server because I want to install npm install framer motion, and now I have framer motion available in my project. So now, all fingers crossed, this should actually work. So we start the development server again. And we still have an error. So, okay, so I know why. The reason is it requires animation, and I named the file animate. So I do this, and I save. And now it says it compiled successfully. And if we head into the browser, you can see that it animates. Not exactly the animation that I was hoping for, but at least you can see that it does animate. So yeah, that actually was quite an interesting animation. But that's actually how you can use your own custom code in Stratos, and how you use like a third-party library like framer motion. You can do a lot of things. You can import basically any library you want, or any of your own code, since this is now a React project running in the background. When you export as a React project from the Stratos app here, you get this exact representation that you see here. So it will work. If it works here on the local development server, everything should work fine in the exported React project. Also, something that is really worth mentioning and highlighting is that you can also now in Stratos export as an npm project. And what gets included in that project is actually all the Stratos generated components, as well as your own custom components. So everything within the Stratos folder and within the custom folder, within the components folder of your project will be combined and bundled into the npm project export. So then you can publish it to npm.js, for example, and make it available to, well, everyone. So it's not just bound to exporting a predefined Create React App project. It's that you can actually export the components as standalones through npm. Okay, well, so to make a quick recap, what I have done is that within Sketch I have added a component or a component name that does not exist within Sketch2React framework or Stratos framework, and that causes the app to add it like this. It actually looks here in custom, and then component, and you can find here within custom and then the component. You have written this yourself, and you have imported Framer motion library, and you have you have used motion.div, and you have here you are passing the child components, and the child component in this case is the image, and then you run the development server, which you do here. And to recap, you open your project folder in the terminal, and you start by typing npm install to install all the packages and the dependencies, and then you say npm run start to start the React server that we have in the background. Then you go into Stratos, and you can say external React view, and it will open your default browser at localhost at port 3333, like this. Okay, so actually this was it for now. So I'm looking forward a lot to doing more tutorials about the new version, because you can do a lot of really cool stuff. Hope you enjoyed, and I guess goodbye.
The ship must be ready as soon as possible. I must go to base 12 on Mars.